I'm not an Arsenal fan, but when the results come in on a Saturday and Arsenal have been beaten or drawn or whatsoever, they just think, oh, I'm just going to go make a cup of tea. I'm going to give it an hour, and then I'm going to go. And those guys, like, I feel for DT and Troops. Those guys, I feel for them because they're in it deep. And but I have to sit there and laugh because it's so funny, fan blood. You know what I'm saying? And what was I saying, Robbie? I've had enough, Robbie. I can't take it no more, Robbie. My Tottenham mates are laughing at me, Robbie. It's just like, oh my god, it's essential viewing.
In 2018, the BBC extended its highlights deal, which allowed the broadcaster to continue making Premier League football content for 3 more years. The extension cost the BBC £211.5 million, which is £70.5 million a year. It has allowed them to keep their flagship show, Match of the Day, and its Sunday night version, Match of the Day 2. The BBC also got to keep Football Focus, which has almost no viewers, and the Premier League show, which has now been cancelled, as that had literally no viewers. Thank you for that reminder. So, the BBC spaff 450,000 licence fees a year to watch highlights of 220 men kicking 10 pigskins, while 20 old geezers pull their hair out as 30 pitchside officials make decisions that get overruled by 30 different officials who sit in a shed near Heathrow Airport. The Premier League is worth over £9 billion, as the UK pulls in £5 billion and foreign rights grab a further £4.2 billion, and that begs one simple question. Why is nobody making any decent additional content for an industry sector that big and that valuable? Answer: it's because the Premier League charge an extortionate amount of money for matchday footage, so any show that requires said footage will need a stupidly large production budget, which tends to scare the crap out of conventional broadcasters. It's a hole that the Premier League has dug for itself, and much like Bricktop's pocket, it's a hole that they can never get out of, as the instant they allow a small production company to make content for pennies, the broadcasters that currently pay through the nose will demand rebates and refunds. Thank you, Gary. So, to summarise, in the UK, B-Sky B, BT Sports, the BBC and Arthur Scargill collectively spend over £1.6 billion a year on the Premier League. £1.6 billion is big business, so the hair is slick, the shaves are clean, the suits are shiny, and the corporate image is squeaky clean, which is a million miles away from an uncouth, hard-working, hairy-Larry scrote who drinks beer, smokes fags, scratches his arse, and forks out £50 a month for his sports channels. This means there are two types of people out there: those who entertain and those in need of entertainment. If you are the entertainer, you'll earn a six-figure salary and do lunch at the Ivy, Nobu or Wolseley. If, on the other hand, you are in desperate need of being entertained, well, the closest you're going to get to al fresco is a kebab as you stumble home from the pub. On your own, £50 a month is nothing. However, if there's a million of you, that's £50 million a month. And as B-Sky B have a reported 10 million subscribers, that's £500 million a month, which is £6 billion a year. So remember, whereas the Premier League pulls in £1.6 billion a year, all of that money comes from millions of little football addicts just like you, who feed their habits on a monthly basis, one subscription at a time. Right then, with another pointless international break completed, the Premier League returned, and to give you the gist of what we do here at Slap of the Day, we're going to focus on the most important game of the week, as Manchester City travel to Tottenham Hotspur. If City can grind out a win, they'll be 2 points behind the mighty Spurs. However, if Spurs can stay on form and collect all 3 points, they'll go top of the league until Leicester play Liverpool. As you already know by now, Spurs beat City 2-0 and scooped the top spot. Normally, we'd go over to Pork Pie for his post-match interviews with the players and managers. However, Jose is a big shot and I'm top dog on this show, so I'm dealing with the special one myself. Good evening, Jose.
Well, good evening, Gary. Where is Pork Pie?
Don't worry about him, Jose. You're here with me.
But I don't want to be here with you. You are disrespectful to me.
I've done no such thing.
1 year ago, Poch was sacked. You went to Twitter and said good luck with finding a better replacement. It is not going to happen.
Ah, yes. Thing is, though...
The thing is nothing, Gary. After 12 games with Poch, Spurs were in 14th position. After 12 games with me, they are top of league for 1 month.
Yes,
they are top because I am special.
Indeed.
While you are challenging Paul Merson for worst psychic pundit ever.
Right then, over to you, Pork Pie.
No, that's okay. I can stay here on the sideline to watch you getting your power groove on with Jose just a bit longer.
Keep this up and next week's interviews will be done by Tony Hubba Gubba Bubble Gum.
Jose Mourinho! You're sitting pretty at the top of the league, and as Leicester went down heavy to the bin dippers on Sunday, you'll stay top all week, which is significantly longer than the 20-minute spell you had last week when you played past the parcel with Southampton, Chelsea and Leicester. Spurs, the league leaders, sum it up in a word. Special. Sum it up with a noise. Wow. Sum it up with a smile. Good man. Moving on. Having spoken with the winners, it's time to speak to the losers. Raheem Sterling! Oh, good Lord. Has anybody got a box for him to stand on? Yep, milk crate is fine. Shove it down there and up your pop. Sterling, not fit enough to play for your country, but fit enough to play for your club, as pointed out by Jose Mourinho.
Thank you, Pork Pie.
You're welcome, sir. Now then, what have you got to say about losing to Spurs?
Hey, come on, Harry. We lose to Spurs all the time now, you know what I mean? And they bluffed us out of the Champions League when my goal got disallowed because Aguero's toenail was offside. Then we come to the lane and Bergwijn slap our ass. So today ain't really that surprising, is it? You know what I mean, Harry?
That's an extraordinary voice you've got there.
Gary!
The Premier League runs for 38 weeks and each week houses 10 games, which means there are 380 games a year that need covering. Amazon Prime paid £90 million to broadcast 20 games a year for 3 years over the festive periods, which is £30 million a year or £1.5 million per game. Unfortunately for Amazon, that equates to a 1-month subscription followed by an 11-month cancellation, as football fans only want football-related content. The same thing happens with BT Sport once the Champions League ends and B-Sky B as soon as the Premier League is over, as there's not much point in retaining a subscription if you're not getting the content you crave. Slap of the Day will cover all 380 games a season, which is 10 games per week for the 38 match weeks. Is it possible to make a Premier League football show that does not require any matchday footage? I'm going with a resounding yes, as this man has managed to do it not once, but twice, as AFTV is his online brainchild, while the Real Football Fan Show is a variant of AFTV that he has taken to a national broadcaster.
What a legend now. I remember your kind words where you were saying that you're a regular watching AFTV. You still watching?
Yeah, but it's not that great this season because you're kind of doing all right. I was you know what I mean?
When Arsenal beat Mould, were they in the kitchen with a can of Mr. Muscle? Well, when Arsenal beat Mould 4-1, the viewing figures were around 10,000 views. And when Arsenal beat Liverpool, you have 24 and 22,000 views. When Arsenal lost to Liverpool, nearly 4 million views. The Premier League is worth over £3 billion a year.
Yet there doesn't appear to be a single broadcast executive on the planet that fully understands why. And this is how Robbie Lyle was not only able to identify and exploit a gap in the market, but his actions have directly led to copycat productions at Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool, Manchester United, Newcastle United, Chelsea, Brighton, Everton, Fulham, Leeds United, Leicester City, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, Southampton, Aston Villa, West Bromwich Albion, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Burnley in the Premier League. Norwich, Brentford, Swansea, Bournemouth, Watford, Reading, Stoke, Barnsley, Middlesbrough, Bristol City, Preston North End, Huddersfield, Luton Town, Blackburn, Cardiff City the first and Cardiff City the second, Millwall, Coventry, Birmingham, Queen's Park Rangers the first and Queen's Park Rangers the second, Derby County, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield Wednesday the first, Sheffield Wednesday the second and Sheffield Wednesday the third, Rotherham and Wycombe Wanderers in the Championship League. Lincoln City, Portsmouth, Hull City, Doncaster Rovers, Peterborough United, Charlton Athletic, Ipswich Town, Accrington Stanley, Crewe Alexander, Fleetwood Town, Sunderland, Blackpool, Gillingham, MK Dons, Oxford United, Shrewsbury Town, Plymouth Argyle, AFC Wimbledon, Northampton Town, Rochdale, Bristol Rovers, Wigan Athletic, Swindon Town and Burton Albion in League Division 1. Newport County, Forest Green, Carlisle, Cheltenham, Morecambe, Salford City, Exeter City, Cambridge United, Crawley Town, Leyton Orient, Walsall, Colchester, Tranmere Rovers, Oldham Athletic, Bolton Wanderers, Port Vale, Harrogate Town, Bradford City, Scunthorpe United, Barrow, Mansfield Town, Grimsby Town, Stevenage and Southend United in League Division 2. I mean, even non-league clubs like Wrexham and Torquay United are getting in on the act. Congratulations, Robbie Lyle. Full credit where credit is due. And I will now retract my gap in the market statement as Robbie uncovered an entire market void, as 20 Premier League clubs, 72 lower league clubs and 19 non-league clubs cannot all be wrong. Take the formula of one team getting ripped on and multiply it by 20. Slap of the day, full league schadenfreude. All I know is that there are millions of football fans in the UK. They are all being underrepresented for content, and despite the fact that one man has conclusively proved that you do not need match day footage to make Premier League content, for some reason broadcasters still don't get it.
Come on, man. Don't you get it? Please, just get it, man.
I'm not an Arsenal fan, but when the results come in on a Saturday and Arsenal have been beaten or drawn or whatsoever, they just think, oh, I'm just going to go make a cup of tea, I'm going to give it an hour, and then I'm going to go. And those guys, like, I feel for DT and Troops, those guys, I feel for them because they're in it deep. And but I have to sit there and laugh because it's so funny, fan blood, you know what I'm saying? And what was I saying, Robbie? I've had enough, Robbie. I can't take it no more, Robbie. My Tottenham mates are laughing at me, Robbie. It's just like, oh my God. It's essential viewing.